Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to be reviewing LL Cool J's autobiography. This is the Parental Advisory Edition. I make my own rules. And this was written with Karen Hunter. I don't know how much she contributed to it, but I've listened to LL Cool J speak before, both as an actor and just in interviews and things. And this really does kind of sound like his voice. It does sound like his voice. So if she added her own works into this, she did a very good job at masking this. It really does come off as him speaking. Though it really cracks me up that he did duck face on the cover. In the back cover, he's pretentiously wearing a crown, but the smile looks much more natural. And this is his autobiography. I believe it was written in '97, so it's not. It's like 8 years old. So things have changed. I believe he had 3 children when he wrote this, and now he has 4 with his wife Simone. 2 of the children were born prior to their marriage, and 2 after. 1 very shortly after. I believe she was like 8 months pregnant when they got married. She was with the 3rd kid. And I found this interesting because I wasn't aware of his background at all. I really know him as an actor and as a personality. I never really approached him as a rapper because I'm not really into rap music. I'm not disrespecting it, just it's never really caught me and pulled me in. I think some of the poetry structure is just not my thing, though I really appreciate the message that a lot of the rap songs carry, at least the more thoughtful ones. Some of them are not thoughtful, but lots of music is not thoughtful, so it's not endemic to rap music. I don't blame rap music for anything. It'd be like saying that because of Mac the Knife, there has been a huge flood of knifings across the world. No, there hasn't. But I didn't realize he started rapping, cut an album at 16. He was like a millionaire at 19 or 20. And he avoided the pitfalls of chemical addiction, which was good. He fell into the pitfalls of sex. He really had a thing for sex, and there were groupies that were willing to provide it anytime he wanted. And it was very much them using him and him using them. It wasn't a healthy dynamic. I also didn't realize that he had a rather rough upbringing. His father was abusive to his mother, severely, and at age 4, his mother left his father. His father didn't like this much and showed up at his grandmother's house where they were living with a shotgun and shot both his mother and his grandfather. Both of these people lived. He was never actually charged with a crime because he ran away and they didn't pursue it. It was a different time, I guess. And the laws aren't always evenly applied. But he eventually kind of established a relationship with his father, which fell apart again because his father, as you can imagine, isn't a very nice person. He's a user. And unfortunately, the next person that entered their lives, a boyfriend named Roscoe, was abusive to him severely. And this led him to act out and become a bully. And he freely admitted this. He was a bully. He would beat people. He would get in fights. He would mug people. He carried weapons. He contemplated getting into the drug game. He didn't. Not as a user, but as a seller, as part of the whole mechanism. But Roscoe was a user of drugs and alcohol, and I think that's one of the reasons that LL Cool J wasn't. I found it interesting his real name is James Todd Smith. James, of course, is an awesome name, though he often goes by Todd. Opportunity missed. And LL Cool J, I didn't know what the full name meant. Ladies love Cool James. That's a really great name, it really is. So I have to have a lot of respect for the fact that he eventually stopped being these things. He stopped being a bully. He stopped being violent. He stopped carrying guns around for no reason, looking for a reason to get into a fight. And he helped reinforce my firm belief that bullies are made and not born. He became a bully because he had problems at home that he could not deal with because he did not have the skill set to handle them as a child and then as a young adult. He became a bully because of that. He became dysfunctional because of the things that were done to him beyond his control. So, at least the happy ending is that eventually he straightened his life out. He started managing his own career, got rid of a whole lot of people that were bleeding him dry. Literally, he ended up owing back taxes. He almost lost his house. He got rid of all the cars he had, except for like one or two. He drives a Suburban now, but at one time he had like a fleet of vehicles, some of them very expensive. One was a custom Mercedes convertible. He always had to have the most styling hats. He wore hats constantly. He fell off a wakeboard once in the ocean, and everyone was stopped dead in their tracks because they figured, well, he's going to come out of the ocean with his hat on, but he didn't. He waited down there until he found it, and he came up. His comment was, I would have drowned first, which made me smile. All in all, it was an entertaining book. It was tough to read the parts of the book where he really got into some of the honesty of him being violent, of him being a bully, of him being used and using women. Some of that stuff was difficult to read. I didn't want to read it, but I read it because it helped me understand who he is. I also find it quite interesting that while he was raised Catholic, theism is a major component of his life, but at this point, I would almost describe him as a deist, because he draws his religious traditions from Catholicism, from the Baptists, from the Jewish traditions, from the Islamic traditions, from the entire range of the Abrahamic faiths. And I find that fascinating. While he venerates Jesus to an extent, I really think his relationship with God is direct. So while he may not be the most sophisticated theological philosopher, his belief is strong and it's helped him guide his life. And I can respect that, even if it's a tradition that I don't follow. So if you enjoy his work as an actor and a rapper and as a personality, a TV star, movie star, all the other things he is, I definitely think this is a good read. I think I picked this up at a flea market or a yard sale or something. It was wicked cheap. But I enjoy biographies. I'm reading another one now. But yeah, if you can handle the parental advisory edition, read it. There is a PG-13 version out there as well. If you don't want to deal with some of the really hard things, he put 2 versions out, which I thought was quite thoughtful of him. So there you go, folks. This has been the autobiography of LL Cool J. Here we go.